Welcome to the CWC Podcast with your host, David Selby, Justin Reed, and Andy Horton.
Hello and welcome to the CWC Podcast. I am your host, David Selby, joined by my co-hosts, Justin Reed and Andy Horton. Guys, I'm sorry I sound like this today. How are you doing?
Doing good. Just trying to make it.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I've been a little puny for the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's been kind of a weird year. I've been the one that's like stayed on top, and I haven't gotten sick like all summer, while my kids, even my wife, who pretty much never gets sick, and people everywhere. It's like you're hearing about COVID, you're hearing about people just like getting the flu. Like it's been just kind of a weird summer, and got to the end of it all here, and I guess it finally got me, and I'm blaming daycare. I think it's daycare.
It's always the kids that bring it home.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
I wouldn't know anything about that, but
So, bear with me as I use my deep voice for this episode. If you guys want me to sing something, it'll sound really different today. It's kind of fun. You just like, you say different things, like things you would normally say just sound different when you have a cold, you know? You can go lower.
Sing some Johnny Cash.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'd walk the line. Yeah, I get you. For those of you that haven't heard on previous episodes, Justin was in a traveling band at one point. He's a very good singer. And so put your requests in the comments below, and we'll make sure that we get to every single one of those sooner or later, whether that's here at the next race
later
or at the annual meeting. All right, on today's episode, it'll be a little bit shorter than the last couple that we have put out there, but we are going to be delivering some tough news today from the Chuckwagon community. And later in the show, we're going to get into the Arkansas Chuckwagon Racing Association standings as we head into the final race weekend of the points circuit over at West Kentucky. Only thing left after this weekend's race at West Kentucky is the Halloween Havoc race at Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. If you have not already, please subscribe and relive the ride at chuckwagonchannel.com. It's $11 a month, or you can save 25% by just paying the $99 for the year. I was doing the math on this the other day, and 25% means 3 months. That's 3 months that you monthly payers would not even pay. You would just enjoy 9 months at $11, and then it would be like you just took 3 months off from paying. So take a shot at it. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate your support. You can cancel anytime. We take the heart of these Chuckwagon racing events and we put it directly into video form for our dedicated race family. Your support is what allows us to keep doing what we love and hopefully grow this channel to be a coast-to-coast household name. We need you to support the Chuckwagon channel. So sign up today and become a part of the racing community. If you want to sponsor the show or the Chuckwagon channel, please reach out and we'll send our sponsorship package information your way. It is our goal to work with businesses who share our values and build the sport and the community of Chuckwagon racing. This episode is coming to you on Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. However, we are recording on Wednesday, the day before, on the 2nd, and we try to do this so that we can edit out most of Justin's potty mouth profanity, of course. We've just posted the championship Sunday races from the national championships down in Clinton. That's on the Chuckwagon channel, and those are straight from the production board that we were operating at the pavilion at the top of the hill on the Barrow F Ranch. So relive the day like it really happened. And still to come, we have the rookie races to post. We kind of did that out of order, but we wanted to get Friday, Saturday, Sunday out there for all you racers. And I guess the rookies just get kicked down the road. They're going to be the last ones to make it on, unfortunately. Kind of just worked out that way. Actually, to be honest, it was just that the production was a little bit more sketchy, a little bit rougher on Thursday. We were figuring everything out, so there's a little bit more of an editing challenge behind the scenes to pull all the pieces together and get that together and put it out there for you. But we've already started on it, so that'll probably be out next week. Also, we have the Chuckwagon DVD from the national championships. That's the annual DVD that Dan and Peggy sell every year. We will have that out before Christmas, so make sure you go to chuckwagonraces.com and you can pre-order that with the oafs. We will also have season 2 of the Great Wagon Race coming this winter, which I have got to tell you, it's gonna be a fun one to watch. We've already kind of gotten into the footage, and we know the story. It's one thing when you go into a documentary series and you just kind of hope things happen a certain way or in a fun way that's entertaining and exciting to watch back. And there was just so much good stuff this year, and it was captured well. The team did awesome down there. I can't wait for that to come out this winter. So it's going to be a fun one to watch. You will be able to find all of that on the Chuckwagon channel. All right, news and notes. So at this point in time on the show, we have to deliver hard news. Sometimes that happens, and this is probably about as hard as it gets. This past weekend, we lost a member of the Chuckwagon racing community, and we are going to take a moment to remember and reflect. This past weekend, Brandon Harp and his pregnant wife, Brianna, were in a motorcycle accident involving multiple people. Brandon and Brianna endured the worst of it. Brandon passed away in the hours following, and Brianna, who was 6 months along, gave a stillbirth to their son. She also lost her leg in the hours following the accident. Brandon is survived by his 12-year-old daughter, Kaylee Harp, and his stepson, Landon Slaughter, who is 4. Landon happens to be the nephew of our own Justin Reed on this show, and Justin is going to provide some words now.
Today, we honor and show our respect to a fellow racer in our family. James Harp, also known as Brandon, from Wilburton, Oklahoma, who passed away on Sunday at 2:59 a.m. He was 34 years old, a father to Kaylee Harp and stepfather to Landon Slaughter. We also ask for your continued prayers for his wife, Brianna Barnes Harp, a fellow cook and outrider. Brandon was a loving son, father, husband, and friend. You may have seen him in a wagon or on the back of someone's pleasure mule cutting through the buffalo fields early in the morning, or swimming wagons across the creek, or helping some team hold at the line. He was one of us, a racer. He was part of a team. You may know that team as Shut Up Stupid, What About Bob's, Bob's Babes, or the collective Oklahoma team. He started racing with them 8 years ago as an outrider, and most recently bought the team Shut Up Stupid. They have raced at Clinton, Baker's Spain, their home race at What About Bob's, and many more. He may have been competition, but you can bet that if you needed something, he would drop everything to help you. And while you may see this team again, they will forever have a seat that is empty in their hearts. With Brandon being the cook, driver, or outrider, this team will have a hole that they will never be able to fill. If they do decide to race this team again at Clinton, you can bet they will be racing for Brandon. They will be racing for his memory to stay alive. But I will tell you this, as long as there is a driver in a race wagon on any track in any state, Brandon's memory will live on. It will live on through the life of that little cowboy and cowgirl that puts on that hat, buttons that shirt, pulls up those jeans, and puts on those boots and says, I'm going to give them hell. He was someone who found joy going around the track and crossing the finish line. Well, Brandon, you made it around the track and crossed life's finish line. Brandon, while I'm sure you are amazed by those pearly gates and streets of gold, I imagine you're enjoying the dirt roads for miles, hay in the fields, and fish in the river. So from all your family and friends and fellow racers, we will see you again on the outskirts of heaven.
It's beautiful. Thank you very much, Justin. And we are all praying for your entire family and everyone involved. We did prepare a video clip that is more to remember in a great way a brother in the Chuckwagon Racing family. And we're going to show that now. And this clip is Shut Up Stupid's Big Mules team, Heat 7, racing on Saturday at Clinton this year at the National Championships. And you'll see Shut Up Stupid is the team on the left-hand side at the first barrel. And we're going to play that for you now.
Race 7 right now.
Louisiana, Oklahoma as well. Arkansas's in the mix 2 times with Driving Daddy Nuts. They're an Arkansas team. Triangle S, Black Rock, Arkansas. Raging Rednecks, that's your Louisiana bunch. And Shut Up Stupid, that's going to be Wilburton, Oklahoma. So let's watch as we make up right here as go to the barrels at number race 7-11. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like it.
I like it as well as we take him up that hillside right now. Into the lead on the outside, it's going to be the Raging Rednecks, but I've got a little bit of question about their start there at that starting line. I'm sure our officials are on top of things as we come down that mountainside and into the bottoms right here. Outriders got some space and distance to make up right now as we take you down to the leader on the far side. Shut Up Stupid, Wilburton, Oklahoma. Shut Up Stupid right now controlling things to the far side. It's Daddy. It's Driving Daddy Nuts. And then to this side, it is the Raging Redneck.
At this time, funeral arrangements are still up in the air. Obviously, we're just days following, but, we try to bring you what news we can. And obviously, we have a really close source in Justin here. But right now, the latest that we know is that funeral arrangements are still up in the air. Brianna needs to reach a certain level of recovery before they can properly host that kind of formality, like a funeral. So stay tuned on your Facebook feeds. And if we can share anything on the Chuckwagon channel Facebook page, then we'll do that there as well. I'm sure that will surface soon. Additionally, if you have not already, go take a look at the GoFundMe that has been put together to help Brianna and their family. We posted this, we shared this from another post from What About Bob and the ACWRA posting. We put that on the Chuckwagon channel Facebook page. At this point in time, they have hit $14,500 of their $25,000 goal, which is fantastic. That's awesome. It just shows what this community does. When tragedy strikes, and there are so many things that have to be taken care of: hospital bills, funeral arrangements, meals, childcare. I mean, you name it. There is a lot. The list is endless when something like this happens, and anything at all is a huge help. And just the gesture is gigantic. It means more than to just go and help in any way that you can. So we encourage you to go check that out. Our hearts go out to Brandon, the Harp family, their extended family and friends, and the entire Chuckwagon Racing community right now. It's my greatest hope that we can take comfort in the memories that we share and the joy that he brought to the sport. His spirit will forever be a part of the Chuckwagon family. So let's honor his memory by carrying on the traditions that he loved and by keeping the spirit of Chuckwagon Racing alive. We don't always have total control about how we are going to write our own stories. That's for the big man upstairs. And this weekend, wouldn't you know it, we have a Chuckwagon race. So it's an association race, actually. It's in Murray, Kentucky, the West Kentucky Chuckwagon Races, and we are going to run through some lineups. And we are looking forward to this weekend. Justin and I are going to be there. Justin's going to be firing that starting pistol like a maniac, and I'm going to be filming over on the sidelines, and Andy's probably going to be sleeping in and taking it easy like he does if he ever has a Saturday break. I'm sure he probably doesn't. What are you doing this Saturday, Andy?
I've actually got a family coming for a family session this Saturday. So
Okay.
yeah.
Take some photos.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna break out the big lights.
Oh yeah.
Andy doesn't just do studio work. He goes outside and matches the power of the sun with artificial lighting. It's incredible. So the lineups for this week's race at West Kentucky, we kind of want to hit on some of the top spots in each division. We're not going to call every single name. Like I said, today's episode will be a little bit shorter, and then we're going to kind of hit on some of these call outs and maybe give a little bit more information provided there. Justin, do you happen to have the point standings in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to let you kind of take it away, hitting on the top. It looks like marked, denoted with some green. Well, on mine, it's a green marker. It might be a red marker on yours or something. But
It's green for me.
yeah, but if you want to just hit on those top spots in each division, and then I'm going to start looking at these call outs.
Yeah. So, Big Horse Rubber Tire, the top two really that are the ones that are at the very, very top is going to be Half Breed and High Low Hard and Fast, which, as we know, High Low Hard and Fast won't be here this weekend, so we will see Half Breed. They are in the number one spot at 65 points. High Low Hard and Fast is in the number two spot at 62, so it looks like Half Breed will swing that win.
Yeah, I know, and I should throw in there while we're on it, and maybe we'll just kind of do it like this, but Houston Blankenship drives Half Breed, and it did come to my attention that he moved his buckboard ponies over to Big Horse Rubber Tire for this weekend. So he's actually, I think there are some if Half Breed's running, which I think they are, I think he's going to be running a smaller team there, a different team than normal.
Gotcha.
Little news.
Yeah. 46-inch mule. You have the number one spot, Sue's Pawn, at 100 points. You've got Trump Train at 77 points. And Hickory Plains Outlaws at 73. So you're what you're going to see here is you're wanting to know who's going to take on that second place spot. It could either be Trump Train, could be Hickory Plains Outlaws. So that's what we're kind of looking for on that heat. Sue's Pond basically has the number one spot in the hand. 46-inch ponies. You've got Wild Ones at 74 points, Outlaws 64 points, Western Junkies 65 points. So Western Junkies sitting in second place, Wild Ones sitting in first place. And then we're going to move down to 46 ponies. It looks like that one is not marked. However,
and it looks like in the 46 ponies, I should throw in there on these lineups, it looks like Western Junkies and Outlaws, who are a point apart, are matched up there. So that'll be one to watch out for as they are competing for that second place buckle. Yeah, I'm going to say it would require, well, I mean, you've also got Rafter 87 right there too. I mean, they're a point behind. So there are potentially several teams that could be a factor for that second place buckle. And reiterating, in the association race circuit, they are competing for those three spots, right? Three spots are going to get buckles for points at the January meeting.
Absolutely. So there's some close calls there. Rafter 87, like you said, is up there as well with Western Junkies. And so then, you also got Hot Mess Express in that bunch and Going Nuts in that bunch. You see, when you hit first place, you get those 15 points. So really anybody could take that heat at this point.
It could. Yes, it could. Yeah, it's not over until it's over. I mean, you get an automatic 5 points for showing up and racing, basically.
Yep.
To my understanding.
That's right.
So, even with that said, you look at Western Junkies. Anything can happen if Wild Ones shows up and they just swallow a barrel and don't get around the track or something. I mean, who knows? Anything can happen, and it's in the association races. You have this whole season of 8 races. When you get to the end, if there is a tie in points, they will run a runoff there at that race, and
Right.
I believe they run the full track, and it's kind of like at Clinton where the outrider is not a factor. It's about whoever gets across that finish line and runs the best race.
That's
as
right.
a team.
All right, 52-inch ponies. We've got Outlaws at 71. And then we've got a tie here. Bumblebees at 65. Trump Train at 65. Now, let's see. 52-inch. So it looks like Bumblebees, Trump Train, all of them are going to be there this weekend. So, that's another close call. You could see any of these. Diamond S Express at 56 points. That is if they go with everything that's going on. I don't know if they'll be there, but if they do go, they're also in the running for that second place. And then you've got Full Throttle at 61. So, some more high points on those heats. It's not just the first and second place points that are really high up there. There's other people that really aren't in the bracket right now that they have high enough points to get third,
Right.
second place. 52-inch mules, we've got Seuss Pond at 87 points. Got Seuss Pond so that's number 1. Seuss Pond number 2 has 85 points, and Hickory Plains Outlaws has 73 points. So those are kind of the runners right there. There are some higher points, but the likelihood, is just kind of not there at that point.
Right.
Buckboard, you've got Full Throttle Loca at 101. You've got Full House at 92. And then the third place on that one so far is at 39 points. So really your competition in the buckboard for the points wise is going to be between Full Throttle Loca and Full House. So it's anybody's game on that point.
Yeah, it almost looks like Brad and Janice scared everybody off from racing as much.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams that showed up and raced at some point throughout the season in the buckboard this year. But you talk about 2 teams that have been right there at the top all year, which we've been following them pretty closely. But you've got Full Throttle Loca and you've got Full House, Brad House. So we'll come back and talk about that here in a couple minutes on these call outs.
As we move on, we're going to Big Mules. Outlaws number 1 sits at 101. Seuss Pond sits at 72. Diamond S sits at 69. So again, that Seuss Pond, Diamond S Express, they're pretty close with 72 and 69. So that second place again is going to come into factor on that one.
Yeah, and it looks like those guys are matched up.
Yep.
In our heats here.
And then we'll roll on down to Classics, and Classics is going to be Trump Train at 79 points, Rafter 87 at 76 points, and BG Racing at 53 points. So really the closest teams right there is at first and second place, Rafter 87, Trump Train. I know both of them are going to be there. So it'll be interesting to see, especially when you've got a top runner of B&B Farms, which is going to be there. You're going to have Gerald, you're going to have Andrea. So it'll be interesting to see how the points play out on that heat.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we'll touch on our youth here real quick too. Okay.
Let me go through youth points. So
Yeah.
Mules, I've got Hickory Plains Outlaws, Suede at 75 points. I've got Running Blind Woo Pow number 1, Corbin at 39 points, and Running Blind Woo Pow number 2, Clay at 38 points. So that 39, 38 points is going to be a close call to see who gets second and third on that one. Youth Outriders, I've got Jagger Pennington at 95 points. Got Austin Pruitt at 52 points and Leighton Parks at 48 points. Again, there's not really anybody that can catch up to them on points wise, but it ought to be interesting to see where Austin Pruitt and Leighton Parks comes, between each other. And then we've got Youth Pony, Outlaws, Jagger Pennington, 89. I've got Too Stupid to Stop, Suede at 61. And Bent Shank Riley at 74 points.
Yeah, looks like Jagger just needs to show up, and he's going to be okay on the youth division.
Absolutely.
Man.
That boy's a rider. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is. It's hard for me to turn the camera on at one of these races and him not be in the frame, it seems like. He's always out there riding around on his horse.
But that's a family, that's a generational thing,
Yeah.
His older brother's a heck of a rider, one of the best outriders we have in the association. So yeah, it runs in the family, and we're seeing that in the youth division.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to go back and I want to look at these call outs. I didn't send you call outs, did I?
No, sir.
No, so that is in. I'm just going to pull it straight out of the ACWRA here. Facebook page, if you haven't checked it out, go follow that. So a couple of these call outs, 46 Mules, we've got Rupow, Running by Wupow number 1 and Hickory Plains Outlaws. Looks like there's been a call out there in the 46 Mules. Looking at 46 Ponies. I know Wild Ones, I believe they called out Hot Mess Express, and Amber's got a chip on her shoulder. She's going to be coming after Hot Mess there. She's driving Wild Ones. You got B&B Farms and Bar 20 have called each other out somewhere in there. And then you get down to Buckboard, and you've got Rollin' F and B&B Farms. And so Rollin' F, you're going to have Andrea Fralix there, and she's called them out over there at B&B. No surprise, she talks a lot of smack, and I'm sure she's got a grudge, and for good reason, I'm sure. And she's probably going to make it rain on them, as she likes to say.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the docuseries if you want to know more about that. And then, one call out that I'll just hit on in a second. All right. Big Mules, we've got Running by Wupow and Trump Train. There's been a call out in Big Mules, so we'll have to see how that one shakes out. And then in the Classic, Too Stupid to Stop and B&B Farms. There's been a call out there for Gerald Burkhalter. So we'll see those guys face off. And right now, that kind of puts, we had Trump Train at the top of the points on Classic there. So sounds like nobody has called him out at this point in time. And I know that's Danny Wilson driving the Trump Train. Whether or not he's going to be out there driving, I don't know. I know he's kind of switched out of the wagon a couple times. I bet you he'll be in the wagon, since he's going to go out there and celebrate and rub it in everybody's face a little bit, I hope. That's what Danny ought to be doing. He's come a long ways in the last couple of years of racing. But jumping back to Buckboard, so we've been following these teams all year long, and we got to see, we saw Brad and Jana race against each other. Did we just see him race the one time, and that was at Loretta Lynn's
and Clinton?
And they raced at Clinton. But as far as association goes, we've only seen it one time.
Right.
And Jana got Brad in the association when they raced.
Now, I believe they've raced before.
I
believe they've raced together before. But this year, yes, only one time at Loretta Lynn's.
This year, if there was ever a time to stoke the flame a little bit here, I think this is it. I think we put the word out there, stir the pot a little bit, and see if those guys, if they're just good, if they just don't want to race together anymore, if they don't want to have to face off in the heat of battle one last time before the circuit is done, Brad's going to have a hard time catching Jana at a 9-point differential on the points, but he could get the last word if he, if they
if he gets first place and she doesn't place, then he would win.
He would get it, yeah. So,
but if he gets first place and she gets second place, she's obviously has more points that she would be able to maintain first place.
Right.
So,
yep.
And even if she got third place.
Yeah. So I've had, I've had a little bit of time to look at this stuff, and it's the last association race of the year, and I just want to see a good race. Right now, it's full house matched up with a little bit of B&B. Gerald Burkhalter, I assume he's driving that wagon just like he did at Clinton, in the place of Nova, as she's still recovering from her accident. But yeah, I'm just going to put it out there in the world. Maybe something happens, maybe it doesn't. I think maybe something I'd love to see in the future is like a fan call out, or
are you calling them out?
I can't, right? I can't, because it's not a thing, and I'd probably look like a real fool, making some kind of silly statement like that. But man, whoever's at that driver's meeting this Saturday, sure would be fun to see if the subject got brought up by somebody. I don't know, but it would be really fun to see those teams race one more time. It's just been such a good time watching those guys race this year, watching them compete. I'm excited to watch the buckboard, I think, as much as anything. I'm excited to see several of these. It's always, I think, when you come down to the wire on points, whether it's for first place or second place, I just think it's exciting because you're racing for a buckle, and whether that's the first, second, or third place buckle, you want to get a buckle, and that's what's on the line this weekend. So I'm going to be heading over to West Kentucky. I'll probably be over there. I got a long drive. I'll be there Friday evening. When are you going to get in there, Justin?
Probably, it'll probably be Friday afternoon.
Yeah. Friday afternoon, rolling from Conway. I'll be rolling from Southwest Missouri.
It's only like a 5.5 hour drive.
Okay. You're substantially closer than me then. Yeah. You've got mine's,
how is that?
Mine's
more
like 7.5.
Do you go through Poplar Bluff?
Yeah, around there. Yeah, just got to basically go across. I got to go down an hour and then all the way across Missouri.
Gross. Yeah, I just got to cut through Memphis and then.
Yeah.
Now, depending on traffic.
Yeah. Well, anything can happen. It's Friday. Cool. Well, that's exciting. I can't wait to see what happens this weekend. We'll probably go ahead and wrap it up here. Like I said, a little bit shorter episode. We wanted to just bring the news to you guys today. Again, keeping the Harp family and all the extended family, the Slaughter family, all those guys, keep them in your prayers, guys. Go over and look at that GoFundMe page. Drop them a line. Let them know you're thinking about them. I think the power of prayer is a real thing. So if nothing else, just take a moment, be thankful for what you have, be thankful for the blessings in your life, and send up some good words to those guys. Last but not least, if you have not already, please subscribe, relive the ride at chuckwagonchannel.com. We post these episodes every Thursday on the Chuckwagon channel for our subscribers, and then we will post publicly on Fridays on YouTube and YouTube Music. As always, thank you for supporting what we do, and we will see you out on the track.
Thanks for listening to the CWC podcast.